Hi Year 10 and welcome to the last video of this series trying to help you get towards your exam. Please, if anything at all from the last two videos is an issue, don't watch this video until you've sorted that out. This is going to be a very quick video showing you where the quadratic formula comes from, but it is going to involve a lot of algebraic manipulation. It will be very helpful for those students who want to be able to show algebraic manipulation at an A grade, but it is completely unnecessary for the exam. Absolutely, you do not need to watch this video. Just there, for interest sakes, to see if anybody wants to have a look at it and see how this works. So let's start with our quadratic formula, our quadratic equation in standard form. Ax squared plus bx plus c. And we write it down as an equation equals 0. I'm going to show you where the quadratic formula comes from. Ultimately, I'm going to end up with ... take me a few minutes, x equals something. So I'm going to rearrange this equation so we can work out what x is equal to. So here we go. I'm going to start by writing it as a outside of x squared plus b over a, x plus c equals 0. So I'm following the completing the square. So I'm going to write that down. We are going to complete the square to solve because we can't factorize this. Okay, so I'm completing the square to solve. I've taken a as a common factor to make it a monic quadratic. Now that I've done that, I'm going to halve the middle, the coefficient of x, square it and add it on. So I'll start with my a, x squared, plus b over a, x. I'll leave a gap, and then I'll have plus c. Change pen colour, and here we go. b over a halved is b over a divided by 2, which is equal to b over 2a. And then I square it, and I get b over 2a squared minus b over 2a squared. Don't forget, we're just dealing with numbers at the moment. So although it looks complex, it is just numbers. You might have already recognised that b over 2a. There it is, turning point. Now we have this, a x squared plus b over a x plus b squared over 4a squared minus b squared over 4a squared. I've just expanded that out, plus c. And that should be equal to 0. That should be equal to 0. My apologies. Next step, I'm going to write this and I'm going to factorise those first three terms here. Remember, this is why we do completing the square method. So when I factorise that, I get x squared, x plus b over 2a squared. That's the whole reason we do it. That b over 2a is half of the coefficient of x. That's what ends up in our brackets. But I've still got a minus b squared over 4a squared. So I'll put brackets around that because it's still multiplied by a ultimately, and that equals 0. Now I'm going to expand the bracket. So I'm not doing anything different to what we've always done with completing the square when we have a non-monic quadratic. Ax plus b over 2a all squared minus ab squared over 4a squared plus c. So I've just added an extra factor of a there because I've multiplied by a, and that equals 0. Next, I'm going to write this, I'm going to leave the same, and x plus b over 2a all squared. I'm going to recognise that a and one of the a's in the bottom cancelled out, just leaving me 4a. So I get this, b squared over 4a minus, but I get this, plus 4ac over 4a. Notice all I've done there is I've got my constant term at the end, which is just a number. I know it looks complicated, but it is just a number, and I've got the denominators to be the same, equals 0. A, x plus b over 2a squared, I'm not changing that, and now I'm going to write this down as negative b squared minus 4ac over 4a. And you would correctly ask at this point, hold on a second, how come it's become minus 4ac on top? This is doing my head in. I'd understand that fully. The reason it's become minus 4ac on the top is because we have negative of negative 4ac to get that positive. So we have to make it negative so that it cancels out with the negative out the front of the fraction. So we're just carrying this negative here through, so we're going to make it positive. So we're going to make it negative on the inside to make it positive overall. And if you want to expand that out, break the fraction up, test it out if you want to. Okay. Now I'm going to add this whole thing to the other side. A x plus b over 2a squared equals b squared minus 4ac over 4a. So I've just added b squared minus 4ac over 4a to the other side. Then I'm going to divide by a, because I've got this factor of a here. So I'm left with x plus b over 2a all squared equals b squared minus 4ac over 4a squared. So I divided by a, which means it's another factor of a on the denominator. Okay, this is lots of fun. I can see you're having lots of fun so far. I'm now going to take a square root of both sides. Taking a square root of the left-hand side here will just leave me with x plus b over 2a equals the square root of the other side is it's b squared minus 4ac over 4a squared. So I get x plus b over 2a equals the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. And there's your simplification of the square root there, because the square root of 4a squared is 2a. Square root of 4 is 2, the square root of a squared is a. But we can't simplify the top. It remains as it is. But you should be starting to see it take a bit of shape as we expect. I'm now going to subtract b over 2a from both sides to leave me with x equals, I'm going to write it in this order though, negative b over 2a, so there's the subtraction, plus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Now, I'm not going to edit this video, but I have made a slight mistake here in not recognizing that when I took this square root there, it actually gives me a plus or minus. It could be the negative or the positive, the value that was squared to get our initial number. And remember, we did that in the last lesson, plus or minus when you take a square root. So this is still plus or minus, so this is still plus or minus. Now, I've got the same denominator, which is brilliant. So I write this, x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. And there it is, the quadratic formula, that magic thing. That's where it came from. I've just said it. That could be the millionth time I've just said it. As a math teacher, that's all I ever say. It is a magic formula. Right now, you're either jumping up and down with joy because you understand this, muddled and you don't understand this, and I'd like to remind you that this is not actually important for your exam. It's there just as a bit of a support for understanding for anybody who's interested, but it's not going to be something that's directly assessed in your exam. Or you may be that person that's sitting there going, wow, I've just wasted 8 minutes and 25 seconds of my life. Thank you.